this is my update for week 2, even though it's technically in the middle of week 3. I just haven't recorded anything yet. But I'm gonna go over my check-in and how last week went and maybe a little bit of this week. I did 6 out of 7 days because last week was my birthday, and I should have done it. I should have done it on my birthday, yes. But I got really distracted in the morning. Sometimes it's a little hard for me to like focus because I'm like up and moving. But I have really been enjoying the journal pages. Like now I'm kind of in the groove of it. So like I really do enjoy when I sit down and just let my thoughts go, because in the morning, I don't know, there's some people who need time to wake up. Me, I wake up like a vampire. Like like I'm like rising out of the coffin. And I wake up and I'm ready, I have energy, I'm moving, and I just like, I'm just very energetic in the morning. Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm moving around. So it's very nice to just sit down and like get my thoughts out, and then it allows me to think better. And 3 pages, at first when I was starting with it, I was like 3 pages is a lot, but now I'm like, I love writing 3 pages. Like honestly, for some of the journal entries, I went past 3 pages. Like I just am yapping. Oh, okay. So last week I wrote that it was a little hard for me to focus early in the morning. Like I wake up and immediately start doing things. I don't think unless I wake up early, but I do think this is contributing to me wanting to write. I found myself exceeding 3 pages the more I consistently do it. So for example, towards the end of the week, I also wrote, I was applying to this internship, and I was writing my application essay, and I wrote the entire thing in one shot, like hit all of like it was like a certain amount that you were supposed to write and like a max amount, like so I wrote about like 500 something words and said like maximum 650. But normally when I apply to things, I'm overthinking constantly, and I don't know if like if what I'm saying is professional enough, and I'm overthinking like how would I read this from their perspective, and it's just a lot for one person to like think about. So I end up like not writing anything because I get super overwhelmed. But this time I just let myself flow, and I think that kind of helped. I think writing the journal pages every day kind of helped with allowing myself to just be, and allowing myself to just give out, just put things on the paper, just go. Whether it looks bad or messy or whatever, you can always go back and review it. So like this really allowed me to just let everything flow out and go on the paper. So like, yeah, it's just been really hard for me to like think of ways to write. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but last week I also started working on some old books. I used to write books when I was younger, like in the 5th grade. And I've always wanted to like make them into a big thing and like publish them. So I feel like some of that artistry is coming out in different forms. So I guess I expected my artistry to come out in either painting, drawing, or design, but instead it came out in a different way of creativity, which came out in writing, which was really surprising to me. I've really been getting into films. I've been getting into writing, characters. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm kind of more motivated to put more energy into the old books I wrote and kind of refine them and make them into a real thing and possibly publish them. We don't know. But yeah, I guess that's how my creativity has been coming out. So that's very interesting to me. I didn't expect that to happen. So I've been really getting into writing, which is surprising. Oh, and also reading, of course. I love to read, so that too. For my artist date, I went to Barnes & Noble in the music section. That's also what I was talking about. So in terms of creativity, not only was it film and writing, it also came out in music. And I was spent a good couple of hours just in the music section of Barnes & Noble, and it really just kind of, how do I put this? It made me really appreciate physical media. I really like the vinyls. I don't have a record player, so I've never even heard what vinyl or records sound like on a record player. So I do want to experience that. But even things like that, I was like, I low-key want a record player or a CD player. Like, I want physical media again, and I want to see, like, the covers. And it's so different to, like, hold the printed form of music versus just having it on Spotify. So it really kind of put me back into my childhood going through that music section, and I was like, dang, like, I really miss a good VCR tape. Like, putting the VCR in there and hearing the crackly sounds and all the commercials that used to pop up. Like, I really miss that, and I miss those parts of my childhood. So I also kind of want to bring that back. And I had seen this TikTok. This girl, I guess she kept her house like how it was in the early 2000s. Like, she had the TV kitchen, she had the VCR, she had the little TV, not the big flat screen TV, like the old OG TV. And she was like, it can still be the 2000s if you want it to be the 2000s. And I never really thought about that. Like, I could just keep my media. And then going into Barnes and Nobles, like, I realized, like, these things still exist, and I can still get me a good VCR tape if I want to. I can, well, I don't know. Actually, I will have to find that. But I was like, I could really still get me a good CD and put the movie in. Like, I don't have to have all these streaming services. And that's also another thing. I am sick and tired of the subscriptions and paying for movies just for them to remove it. Like, let me tell you something. I am a Twilight fan. Like, down. I'm a vampire, like, I'm in that section with the vampires and the horror and all that creepy stuff. Yeah, I'm, especially vampires. I'm really into vampires. So I can watch Twilight over and over every year through each season because it's a comfort movie for me. But Netflix keeps removing it and putting it back on, and then I'm paying for all these different subscriptions just to get my movie instead of just having my CD down and just putting it in the TV. And that's one thing I miss. Like, I want my OG movies, and I want to be able to watch them when I want to watch them. I don't want the subscription service to just take it off. So, yeah, I really, really appreciated that. And I think moving forward, I definitely do want to bring those things back just because I miss them. And I should be able to have access to that kind of inspiration whenever I want to without paying for a stupid subscription for them to remove it. Like, if I want to watch my movie, I deserve to watch my movie. So, there's that. And in terms of issues, I didn't find many issues, but what I have noticed is that last week I stopped complaining as much. I think before I was really in such a negative headspace, and I was just like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, why is this like this? Like, I was just very, very down in the dumps. And that's what the book talks about. It says when you can't express your creativity, you become this, like, different miserable person of someone who wishes they could, and you get attached to people who can because you wish you were them. And I think that I was kind of in that mindset before too, because I've been in this artist block, this funk. And even the book said that it's natural for you to express creativity. It's just the thing that's unnatural is you blocking yourself. And I never really thought about that. So I was like, I had all of those blockages. It just created such a, like, scramble in my brain, and I just wasn't being myself, and I wasn't being the best version of myself. So I think through the writing, and I've been on Pinterest. I've been making mood board after mood board after Pinterest board, like, just exploring, getting a lot of inspiration. I think through expressing creativity that way, even if it was through refining my old books and writing things down, I felt myself being more hopeful and complaining less and being more grateful and being more in a positive mindset. So that is one thing I noticed. I will say I did notice that there is some sort of external urgency. So internally it's like, okay, I'm going with the flow, I'm just vibing, but I feel like externally, like, as adults we have these responsibilities and we have these urgencies, and you know, society just moves really, really fast at a fast pace, and you constantly have to figure out what's next. You don't really get to sit and process things. You're constantly moving. So I I feel like that's where the external urgency came from, the constant, like, okay, I have to constantly be doing something. I'm not allowed to just sit. I'm not allowed to just rest. Like, I have to keep going and going and going and figuring out, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to pay that? What is that bill going to do? Like, it's so much happening and there's so much urgency, but that's kind of the issues that I was having last week. I'm going to leave it here.